Today we're being joined by potential AFLW draftee from South Australia, Alissa Brooke. Alissa, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. Tell us a bit about yourself, what type of player you are and what got you into footy.
I actually started off playing netball, and I started in the AFL class at school just to keep up my fitness for netball. Then I found my love for footy. I started playing the knockout team at school, and then jumped into my local club at Victor Harbour, and then it just went from there to South and state teams. I'm a defender. I'm just known for my athleticism and versatility, and just love to play footy.
So obviously you mentioned it being a key defender. So who's some of the people you've had to match up on in games that you probably find not necessarily hard, but your toughest opponent you've had to match up on?
I felt that a lot of the Queensland girls were very tough. There was no one in particular that I stood for majority of the game, but just the way they played was very intense. They were obviously the closest team to get to us, so they did really well. Someone else would be Lauren Young at state trainings when we just did our in training games and things like that. Just how her skill set is insane. So yeah.
So some people would say that you've kind of flown under the radar because of some of those names. One of the names you just mentioned, Lauren Young, Shinea, Goody, Piper Window, and a bunch of other good players as well. You kind of flown under the radar, and they say online too, they got athletic weapons, and you go about your business and you're a very competitive player. Would you be fair to say that that's another part of your strengths? You mentioned your athleticism, but also your competitiveness and speed?
I definitely went under the radar this year. We obviously have a lot of talent in SA with those girls that you mentioned. Something that just came up for me was, my athleticism and versatility. I think, those girls are amazing and they definitely shine their own way. So, I just had to kind of put my best foot forward as well and just do what I could do. And just with my versatility, try and match up on smalls and tools to just match their speed and then aerially as well.
So obviously you put your best foot forward by winning the vertical jump with 58 centimetres and placing second in the running vertical jump at 72 centimetres and the 20-metre sprint at 3.289 seconds. So obviously that's also a part of something that you're very good at with the testing as well.
Yeah, no, I was definitely surprised on the rankings and everything that resulted from the combine. I just kind of went there, obviously did all my training beforehand and, just tried to do my best. It was very nerve-wracking and, just a competitive day, but all the girls were really nice and amazing and, we all just did our best. So it was a good environment though.
That's good. So what's it been like playing in the SA team of the girls we just mentioned, Lozzie Young, Piper Window, Shinea Goody, and plenty of others?
I think it was an awesome learning experience. Those girls have amazing talent and they're just natural athletes. So to see them at trainings each week and still working as hard as everyone else, they're not complacent and cocky and they actually go there and they put in the hard work. So that was also something that was really good to watch and learn to just see that, they're already huge names, but they're still putting in the work, progressing. It was awesome to have those girls to play with as well. Just their intensity and skill set on the field was awesome. And I think we all just fed off of it. And it also made us push ourselves to as hard as we could to match that. And it just made everyone in the whole team so much better.
So obviously with the draft at 3 to 4 weeks away, how are you feeling heading into that draft period and how you've been feeling?
Extremely nervous. There's a lot of nerves, but also a lot of excitement. At the time being, there's still a lot of unanswered questions just because, the season's still going and the trade picks and that haven't been done. So clubs aren't 100% sure on everything yet, but the interviews are extremely nerve-wracking, but everyone's super nice and it's just a casual conversation and just to get to know you. So they're really supportive and nice and just it's good to get to know what each club is like and their support system. But definitely excited and just want to see what happens. I can't wait to just be on the night already.
Now, I was going to ask you about how was some of the meetings with the clubs? Obviously, you mentioned nerve-wracking as well, but do you remember you don't have to say who, but do you remember your first meeting with the first club you met and how you were in the lead up to that and how you came out of that?
Yeah, so going in, I had no idea what to expect. I took both in my parents because I wasn't 18 yet. And we walked in and just, greeted them and sat down. And then it just, I felt a lot more relaxed than I thought I was going to by the time we got in there because, they were just so welcoming. And it honestly is just a general conversation to get to know each other. The questions are pretty hard hitting and some of them are, just take me a second, to think about because I've never been in that situation. None of them really put me on the spot, but some of them I just had to think about for a sec. But they were all very nice and it was good.
That's good. I was going to ask you, has there been any, maybe not necessarily weird, but off the cuff questions that you thought, I'm surprised they asked me a question like that? Because I've heard some people say through the men's and women's comps over the last 3 or 4 years that, if you're a car, what car would you be? Dead or alive, who would you take to dinner? Some people asking have they got a boyfriend, so they probably kind of testing them to see if they would actually go out and travel interstate. Have you had any questions like that?
I think I've had none crazy, but just general. I've been asked if I have a partner, and I said no because I'm definitely keen to go interstate, and I just kind of put forward that I'm definitely looking to move. That is definitely an option. So I just kind of make that clear. No, there was no real insane questions, but like I said, just never been in that situation before. So some of it, just wasn't fully prepared for. But
that's all right. Now I was just going to ask you 6, but you kind of answered it already. But have you nominated for the? I'm going to assume I'm nominated for the national draft, not the state draft.
I haven't nominated yet, but it's definitely looking like national. Just want to put my best foot forward and just give the most options. So there's just a lot of conversations being had, but definitely looking at international. National.
That's good. Thoughts on your season so far for SA, and what was it like playing in the championships? Because you were in there last year as well, so like back-to-back years playing in the championships too for SA.
Oh, it was awesome. To just represent the state was awesome. And like we touched on before, just the girls were amazing. The coaches were also awesome. Just different men and women, just totally different ideas and takes on the game, different concepts were being taught, and it made me develop heaps. Awesome to travel with the girls and just have a bit more experience in the elite environment. It was awesome.
Yeah. What would you say is one of the matches that you've in the championships or for locally or wherever that you feel like that's the game that's made you well noticed, and that's the game, if you were lucky enough to be drafted, is kind of the game or games that's going to get you to the position you want to be in?
My best game was definitely for South in our semi-final against Centrals at home. Definitely just, I don't know what it was, just had a really good game, was very happy. Just got a lot of the ball and did well with it. I don't know what I did different that day, but it just all ended up pretty nice and I was really happy. I knew I was standing Elaine Griggs, so I went in with the intention of, everyone knows what she's like, very hard hitting, hard at the ball, and the player very fast. And I just went in knowing that and just knowing that I was going to have to match her speed and endurance and her hard hit, really.
That's good. So do you recall the start of the year, Danielle Pontus goal in the AFLW from the centre square?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was all over social media.
That's true. Do you think you'd be able to replicate that moment, or a teammate that would be able to replicate that, or thinks they can but they can't?
Oh, I definitely wouldn't be able to do that. That was awesome. There's no one in particular. I think it's also, it would just be awesome, just the way it comes off the foot. A lot of the girls I think would love that to happen, but it's just, that was also just one in a lifetime, awesome little thing. Yeah.
It definitely was. Now, being a defender, there might not be many opportunities to kick a goal, but have you kicked a goal before, either for SA or just in locally or for South Adelaide as well?
Not at SANFL level or in the state game, but I did, locally, just when I was playing here. Yeah.
Nice. Is there any particular goal then at that point where there's probably your best goal you've kicked? Like anything from the boundary, any torps, any opposite foot goals, anything like that?
To be honest, it wasn't meant to be a goal. I was
one of them.
On the run, just wanting to put it forward to our forward guys, and the wind just took it and it came off the boot a bit nicer than I expected, and just slotted a goal without trying to. So that was nice.
That's good. If you were to use an AFL or AFLW player comparison for yourself being a defender, who would you best describe yourself as for people that don't know too much about you?
Oh, that's hard. Someone that I would definitely not be at her level, or not someone that I compare myself with, but someone that I desire to play like would be Tahu. I know she's obviously off with an injury now, which is very big disappointing, but she, in the off season, she came back to South, and that was when I first saw her play. And then obviously I've watched her when she went back to Port, and just like, she's so inspirational. The way she plays is, definitely a way I desire to play, and just she's everywhere and makes such a big impact on the ball everywhere she goes, and everything.
That's good. So has there been any AFLW players that you've kept in contact with at some point, whether it's through SA Championships that have been down to a training session or something, and any advice they've given you in particular that stuck out to give you advice around this draft period as well?
Not in particular, but there was a training where Anne Hutchard came to the state training. I didn't get to work with her personally because she was working with the mids, but she just addressed us all and just said, play your game, have fun, do what you know best, like play as an instinct. And that's something that stuck with me, is just, do what you know best, really.
That's good. Who did you grow up barracking for as a kid?
So I support in the men's area, I go for Port, but in the women's, I go for Crows. So there's a bit of a...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Definitely. Yeah.
What prompted that to be the case? Because as you would be well aware, generally those two sides and their fan base even don't get along with each other.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting, especially in my household. So for the men's, so I have two brothers and my dad, they go for Crows, and my mum and I go for Port. That was purely because my mother's father went for Port, and was just heart and soul for Port. So that was something that I followed along with. So it's a bit interesting when it's showdown in this household. Yes,
divided.
Yes, but in the women's area, I think we all go for Crows just because, they are the first ones here, and they're just an amazing team. So they're just our SA before Port came in. So
that's true. Favorite teammate in the SA side of for South Adelaide?
I would have to go with Brooke Boiler and Holly. I followed. We were obviously good friends, but then when we started doing the state team together, we all carpooled because I lived the furthest, and then I'd pick up Brooke and then would go get Holly and then head on to Theberton. So us three became very close. Really good friends, and they're both amazing footy players and great people. So I just love every bit of footy with them.
That's good. So you got any nicknames at the club you're given that you like or dislike?
I think everyone just calls me Liz, really. No real crazy nicknames.
Oh, that's good.
But just Liz.
That's good. Any coach's pet at SA?
Oh, coach's pet. Oh, I don't know. Probably I'd say Piper, just because she does everything right. But that's just her putting a bet foot forward. Like, she just does everything right. But that's not mainly for the coaches, that's for herself.
Yeah, that's fair. Any outside of footy interests that you have?
Yeah, so I love to really just be with friends and family, but I love making things out of wood. So I love being with Dad in the shed and just like I've made my bed head and things like that. So that's just interesting. Fine. Yep. Is
there anything in particular with that stuff that you're mentioning about building a bed part that you're wanting to do as well? Is there any ideas to make something else?
No, I think now that footy has died down a little bit and just graduated school, I would like to do some things in my room and upgrade it a bit. So, yeah, there's definitely some things I'd like to make. I want to make a little shoe rack and things like that. So, yeah.
Oh, nice. Who loves the limelight, the attention at the camera at SA and just cannot get enough of it? And they know where the camera is when they kick a goal or when they do a spoil or a mark or something, and they're always looking at the camera.
I think, like Elaine and Lauren and that, they love the camera. They even had their own little goal celebrations in the state game. I think they had some interesting ones. But no, I think we all love a bit of just fun and that with cameras. And yeah, like the other night at training, Brooke Boiler was mic'd up and that was a bit entertaining. So yeah, just love a bit of fun with that. Yeah,
so I'm sure when Brooke was mic'd up, I'm sure there was a little chirp. Did you actually know she was mic'd up at that time? It was one of those hidden ones where they pretend?
Nah, she had it on and we all knew. But so yeah, there was a few things that I couldn't say to her that training that I wanted to. But no, but yeah, that was fun and just keep training entertaining, I guess. Yeah.
That's good. Who would you say is the best player in the AFLW competition? So it was really hard, and especially this year as well.
Oh gosh. There's so many names up there.
You got Marinoff, Garner, Riddell, Gardner. There's so many. Conti.
Yeah. So many. Marinoff, I love. Honestly, there's so many names up there that they're all such competitive players, and you can just tell that their love for the sport is just awesome.
It's true. Who do you feel you would want to poach from another club, or players, or players from another AFLW club that you would like to poach to take to the Crows?
Oh, probably Matilda Scholes. I think she's definitely a rising star. Yeah, obviously she's had a very good season this year. She's just awesome in the ruck, but not only does she do a role in the ruck well, she then becomes a player all around the whole ground and just does what she needs. I think she's had a good flair this year and done well.
What's something someone does at the club that you cannot stand that just annoys you? Anything in particular?
No, I don't think that there's anything in particular. I think there's a few things at the club that we all do. Like we all have a good fake tan. So, but no, definitely love that. Get around that one. No, there's nothing in particular that I can't stand.
No, that's all right. Did you play any other sports outside of footy?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I played netball. And then that's when I made my switch to footy. But apart from that, not really anything else.
Any good at netball?
Yeah, I was pretty decent, but yeah, Mum wasn't too happy about that decision. But no, it was what I wanted to do. So yeah, it was good.
Were you a defender in netball as well?
Yeah, I was goal defence. So
okay.
Yeah.
So scoring was a rarity in both sports, but that's okay. Do you feel this is an interesting question? I haven't asked anyone this before on here, but I've heard it a lot that people don't think defenders get appreciated enough compared to the mids and forwards. You know, they always got with their medals, the goal kicking awards, and everything like that. Do you feel there should be a defenders award in some capacity?
I think that's a great question. Yeah, definitely, because without the defenders, like the other team would just score all day. Like, I think especially when there's a great goal saved that's like touched or anything like that, you know, that's awesome. Just those every little bit like that counts to the score and just makes a huge impact. So yeah, definitely there should definitely be a defender reward. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because, you know, as you would know, in the Brownlow and every other award there is, you always hear about the mids and forwards getting votes. But what I've tried doing mainly, well, just in general, in my own medal I do for the AFLW award, and I had a lot more defenders in votes than they probably will do in the other one because they just don't get recognised as much. And as you said, it probably does deserve some more attention because it rarely gets anything. The only time you might hear about a defender act is if the game's in the last 30 seconds and they spoil it on the siren or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So, the way that the defenders worked this year at South was insane, and that's what made it so hard for me to crack into the league side was, the defenders were just awesome. Yeah.
So what would you rather, mark or goal of the year?
Definitely mark of the year. Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Any particular reason?
Would love to just take a huge hanger. That'd be awesome. I don't think that happens very often. I think Charlotte Riggs did one for Centrals this year, and it was awesome. So yeah, that's definitely something that would be sick. Yeah.
If you were lucky enough to take a hanger in this example, would you be one that would want to be posting it or rewatch it over and over again?
Oh, I definitely would love to watch it. Yeah, 100%. But nah, not too insane. But yeah, definitely that'd be pretty cool.
That's right. I reckon anyone that says if they were to do a goal or mark of the year, maybe not post it, but to not watch it over and over again, I think they're lying if they're saying they don't.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just another mark, whatever.
No,
I think they'd be lying.
Yeah, definitely.
Rising star tip for the AFLW this year. Obviously, there's so many names that you could put up there. You got Matilda Schultz, as you mentioned. You got Zali Goldsworthy, Ella Roberts, Ali Morfitt, Jazz Fleming. Who have you got in that country? Because it's pretty even. For mine, I had to do a three-way tie between Roberts, Goldsworthy, and Morf because it's just so hard to choose.
Yeah, no, I was definitely going to say Goldsworthy. She's insane. Just her strength in the contest and aerially as well, and just has a beautiful leg on her. She's definitely come up this year, and yeah, especially being so young, yeah, it's awesome to watch.
Who's some teammates at SA that you've been impressed by, probably outside of the names that have either already been pre-listed by Port or going to be high up there in the draft, that you feel doesn't get appreciated as much, that should get a bit more love?
In the state team?
Yeah.
I think Holly Eifold and Jacinta did awesome as well in the ruck. I think they were two that were quite underrated. Yeah, especially Holly's work rate, as a winger, she's just always there. She plays a very wide game. She's always out on the wing. So she's an awesome option to just get it to as soon as us defenders turn it over. We want to get out to her where the space is. So yeah, she's definitely someone underrated, especially with Jacinta Schinsler. She's same idea, just does her thing. And yeah, I think those two girls have gone under the radar in my opinion a little bit. Yeah.
That's fair. Interstate trips, you mentioned before about traveling with the team. Do you like interstate trips, and how have those experiences been?
It was definitely interesting. It was really cool because we didn't get to decide who we shared a room with and those kind of things. So it kind of forced us to get to know other girls. And yeah, obviously I was close with the South girls, but it was awesome us South girls got quite close to Zara Walsh and Lucy Boyd, who are both very funny, awesome girls. So yeah, it was really cool. And even Poppy, so and Violet, even Private, everyone. It was just awesome to become friends with girls that we actually play against in the Sandfall. So it was super cool.
That's good. One final question for you. Appreciate you coming on. Premiership tip in the AFLW this year, because it's obviously really tight, and I mean it could go either. I know there's only 4 teams left, but it could go either way. You made a case for all 4 of them.
Oh, honestly, I just want Crows to win. That would be sick.
Of course.
Obviously, Sportum, an SA team, that's who I'm backing for 100%. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. If they were lucky enough to get past North Melbourne this week in the grand final, I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct, that the final would be then in Adelaide at Norwood Oval, I think. Would you end up going if the Crows end up making it?
There is no way I'd miss that. That would be awesome. Definitely gone to Norwood a couple of times this year to support them. So, yeah, would 100% go to the grand final. Yeah. One thing
I'll add, so I forgot to mention, any pre-game superstitions you have?
Oh, I think just a good brekkie. I love my Cocoa Pops in the morning for a game day, just to give me some sugar and energy. So, yeah, it would be my Cocoa Pops.
Alissa, appreciate you coming on. All the best for the draft in under a month's time. Hopefully your dreams get realised and you have a long, successful career at whatever club that ends up being. So appreciate you coming on.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
No worries.